Hello, hello, happy Friday. No, I'm just kidding. I decided every day I'm gonna make a song. Yes, I am. Until I got a whole EP, mixed greatest hits. Hey, Marissa, what's going on, lady? How are you? How are you, my friend? I'm out here in these Virginia streets getting to my business for today. I am late. I ain't gonna say I'm late. I had to get some rest. I was about to be like Super Meek and keep on going. Well, I thought I was. I was lying. Apparently, I learned that I was lying through my teeth because then I woke up. Like, yeah, I'm about to get in the shower, get dressed, and just hit the shit. I ain't been asleep. I was knocked out. Girl, you can't do nothing when the body don't want to do it. Ain't nothing you can do. I don't care how bad you want to do it. I probably couldn't even got up off that bed talking crazy. I really did feel like I had the strength though. I did, and then I woke up. I mean, that's just the way I could describe it. I really felt woke, and then I woke up, and then that felt good though. I could tell you that. I could have slept a little longer, but I needed to get a couple. Why is that water so close to the street? Had to I want to go there. I had to get up and get out because I didn't. Yeah, days. I mean, hours in a day go by fast, and I got a few things to do today, and I need to prepare for tomorrow because I'm ready to start that. Hey, what a great thing! I start work at both jobs tomorrow because I was gonna actually just start at this job next week. Start fresh on Tuesday, but somebody booked an appointment, so yeah, I get to do some hair. Oh my god, I am so excited! I'm screaming on the inside. Yeah, but how you been, Marissa? I missed your last live. I think I was in church when you went live. I do believe. Okay, I gotta go straight. Yeah, I think I was in church, so I didn't get to pick up on that one. But honestly, I'll be liking your lives. I don't know if that's you. Oh, why is someone calling me? I just don't understand why people try to call at the most inconvenient times, man. Stopping my flow. You're welcome. We about it. But I don't know, you might be a little more about it than me, but I identify. I think I think we'll both take the first lick in the name of the Lord. Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what we're supposed to do. I mean, we wouldn't have it any other way. If you're not being yourself, you're not being authentic. Ooh, and that was one of the things that he said at church last night. We are called to be authentic. Can't come on here capping. You gotta act. Hey, watermelon, you gotta act exactly the way he created you because your character, the way you made up, it is definitely for a reason. However, he will sharpen those things where we think it's a little bit too or a little bit this or that, he sharpens those things and utilizes it the way he needs to use it. Our job is just to go forth, I guess, do it. I think we get caught up a lot in thinking like, well, I'm still like this, I still do that. And that's the way he worked. We talked about that last night when we say too much when you get confirmation too many times, it's a sign of disobedience. That was only the second person I ever heard say that aside of myself. I got it from another guy, and then Pastor Shirley said it last night. How many times do you need confirmation? That's only the enemy that tries to make you think that you got to be some other way other than the way God created you. Wow, this is a shorter way to get to the job. What? Are you serious? I've been going all that way for nothing. But I just be all off it everywhere. But yeah, he gets in your head and make you think, oh, you talk like this and you can't do that because you sound like this. You know how it go. And it usually come in the form of somebody, you know, telling you. I had a cousin. This is a real life story. On my Facebook page, I used to always just post like a lot of inspirational, encouraging things. Sometimes it might be a quote, it might be a scripture, whatever the case may be. I would share whatever church service I was listening to, things like that. And I had a cousin. She's a little older than me. She's older than me. I want to say a lot older, but here nor there. Oh my God, I'm on Military Highway. Wow. How did I get here? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm learning. So I get fascinated sometimes when I get to a destination on a different route. But it was like the time for the family reunion. Mind you, I haven't been to a family reunion since I was like 15 years old, because it came a time where, how you go somewhere and it's like a whole bunch of old people, and then it's a whole bunch of young people, and then it's you, but nobody's in your age group. So I kind of like got away from going to the family reunions, and it just kind of just kept going and kept going. I mean, it might have got out of control, but hey, I have moved further away, and yeah. Anywho, one particular year, she wants to entertain the thought or the idea of me. Hey, realist, what's going on? My serial brother. And she was talking about me coming to the reunion, and I'm telling her, like, listen, I'm in South Carolina. I have a salon. I got this. I can't really afford to get a ticket and get a room. Well, I'm asking because I helped all these people. I helped this. I'm like, well, shit, pay all my bills and I'll buy my own plane ticket. Because I know my bills were going to outweigh that plane ticket. And if I bought that plane ticket and came up to that family reunion, I'm going to miss out money that I needed. So she gets to saying things like, your parents are so disappointed in you because you left. And you don't even do this and you don't do that. I'm like, what? I'm thinking to myself, like, I know my daddy ain't done told this half of this, but I know my daddy. You know what I'm saying? And talking about your daughter being on Facebook half dressed and all this stuff. And I'm like, nah, I know you really lying, because my daughter didn't start getting a little sexy with the dress until she was about like 25 years old. But and then she gets to saying things like, she's a false teacher. She's a false preacher. Lady called me a false preacher. I'm like, girl, I'm a hairstylist. What are you talking about? And she just kept going on and on. And my kids came on there. That was a time when I could say I was genuinely proud of my son, because he ain't got no filter and he just don't give a good, you know what? And he just kind of was just real chill with it, like, nah, you wrong. My mom taught me everything I know. I don't know what you talking about. And my daughter like, ma'am, I ain't never been half naked. And I'm like, but we don't want to talk about your little girl being under the bar while you was getting drunk. Never mind. We ain't gonna talk about that. But anyway, and I didn't put that in there for real. But that was a true story. She'd take her daughter to the to the club with her. But in that moment, I realized, I'm like, this lady is coming on here saying all this crazy stuff about me because I'm not coming to a family reunion I haven't been to in about 40 years. However many years. It was a long time. And I just kept putting in the chat, Satan, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. He was mad and she blocked me. But here, that's what I'm saying, Marissa. It'll be someone you that is supposed to be a loving person to you that'll try to change or shift what you're doing, make it seem like it's something else, or make it seem like you're doing it wrong. When all actuality, you are doing it exactly the way God wants you to. And anything that needs to change as it pertains to how you are, we have to understand that He created you that way. So therefore, any fine tuning that needs to be done, He's able. You just got to let Him. You won't even realize He changed something. You'll just be operating in it smoothly because you set out doing what you were supposed to do as you were anyway. You know, we have too many people out here that are overly perfect, overly, I guess, great in their own mind, and not even willing to do half of what the dirtiest of us would do. And y'all know I don't mean literally dirty, but what they would classify as dirty, what they would classify as trash or unworthy or ill-equipped or whatever. They're up here lying, but we're willing to stand on the truth, even though, you know, we're willing to stand on the truth, even though, even still, I'm toe up from the flow up, but I love God. I'm tore up from the flow up. I can't get a lot of things right, but I'm willing to say whatever He wants me to say. I think that that's where people can insert, oh, God hung with drunks and gamblers. And, you know, people like to use that as an excuse to get drunk up. But it just goes to show who He will use. That answer to that is whomever He chooses. Whomever He chooses. No one gets to say how He uses you, when He uses you. It just requires you to say yes, you know. And I think that's a lot of what we were, in a sense, what we were talking about in church last night. It was really good, and definitely some moments of and what you call it, toe stepping on, you know. The first thing he said was, I hope y'all got y'all steel toe boots. And I was thinking like, dang, I just ordered some steel toe shoes. But I love the title of his thing. It was No More Excuses, Time to Execute. And I'm about that life right there. No more excuses, time to execute. How long will we procrastinate? How long will we say, okay, I'm about to do it? How long will we say, well, as soon as I do this, I'm going to do this? That's why I've been drilling. I don't care what corner I turn. I keep hearing, don't wait till next year to start. Went in that church last night, same thing. Don't, hey, Gary, bust it down, Brown. Bust it, Brown. Wiggle, wiggle, shake, wiggle, wiggle, shake. That's all I've been hearing is don't wait till the new year to start. Because typically we just don't, you know. And I feel like what we got now, y'all, maybe about 23 days left in the year. 23. And they were willing. They follow Him. Come on, y'all, let's go. Follow me. And they was off. And we tend not to get started, whether it's the new year or just after saying something. You know, I know for one, I'm tired of saying stuff because I feel like the stuff we say will come to pass. We say it all the time. Words have power. What you say will manifest. But then we say a whole lot of stuff and don't put no action behind it, or we put um pause pause in the middle of it. Some of us put periods where there should be commas. You can continue on. Yeah, you could take a little break to reassess and make sure you're operating or moving in the right way, but or that you're hearing clear. But the greatest objective is to move. And sometimes we don't know what we moving into or through. But if we don't move, we won't figure it out. We learn in the process of walking it out. We learn in the process of walking it out. Sometimes it's not going to come to you while you're sitting on the chair just trying to think and strategize. Sometimes strategy comes when you jump in your car and start driving. Sometimes strategy comes when you do the first step to one thing that you've been talking about doing. Strategy comes when you stop saying, well, I'm a natural procrastinator. I'm a firm believer in procrastination sometimes may save your life, but at the same time, it also may hold you up from some things. Instead of procrastinating, then be a little earlier. I don't know. We got to get out of it, but because there's a lot of things that we all have to do. We all have a purpose. It's our very existence. That's why we're here. We're here to serve a purpose. We ain't here to get crunk, YOLO, party, party, party. Let's all get wasted. Work until we tired of working, retire, done, over, sometime broke with nothing. No, we got a purpose beyond all those things. Those are the things that maintain life for us. But I don't even think we attach God to even those things. And I would call those things the simplest things in life. We don't attach him to that. If my paycheck is less than what I need, then I definitely need to attach him to it so he can bring forth that increase or make a way out of no way. I think that a lot of us are probably in a space of finding what our true purpose is or our calling, however way you put it. And it's not easy to identify because I have thought I was called to do hair. I later learned that was a gift and a talent that was connected to my call. Then I thought, well, I'm called to speak to women. And then I learned soon after that it's not just women. And I really figured that out right here. Because when I was doing my church group at my group for my church, I did a women's group because I literally thought I was called to speak to women specifically. And being on YouTube, as I've been commanded to press play and talk, I realized there's a lot of guys here that listen to what I'm saying. There's a lot of guys here that interact to what I'm saying. There's a lot of guys here that piggyback off of, like Gary. We piggyback off each other all the time. We be less kind of on the same vibe a lot of times. And I think that's only the Holy Spirit. We all have somewhat of a connection on here. Those that have been here, that are usually here every day or whatever. We got Realist, we got The Word, Atmosphere, Gary, Watermelon, Selena, and y'all know the others. Even Double Speak, a lot of times he be on live when he come, but I know that, and Marissa, Lord have mercy, Jesus, she's the first one in here, and I forgot her name. Forgive me. When I really understood that I'm not just called to talk to one specific gender, but just anybody with an ear to hear, was when I would see after the videos when Heat would show up and be like, "Good live. That part when you said da 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 did this, this, and this." And I'm like, wow, that was all the way towards the end. He watched it. Or when Double come in and be like, "Oh, I missed the live, I'm on the replay. Good message." So I realized then I'm not to we're not to put ourselves in a box when we're seeking out our call. Don't think just because you're strong in one area, that's the only area that he wants to use you in. Now, I'm not saying that can't very well be. Some women are called specifically to speak to women. And that's not to say you can't talk to men or anything else, but it's just that that thing that you do will more than likely cater more to the females. And whether it's dealing with women who are um escaping abuse or whatever the case may be. And but it's kind of dope, you know what I mean? Because we learn as we go, and because I'm willing to get on here and talk, whether it's 121 or 81, I'm finding my way. A lot of times we be out here seeking and seeking and seeking. Oh man, I missed my turn. Oh no, I did. Yeah, we be out here seeking and seeking and seeking, and a lot of times it's just in our walk. You find everything you need once you start walking. Once you start trying to do what you know to do, what you understand to do, he'll start to show you everything else. But if we don't begin the journey and stop sitting there just looking and waiting, nothing falls out the sky. I'm like, I don't know. He talked about how when God wanted to send, well, when he was telling Moses he was sending him to go and free his people from Egypt, and all the excuses he would come up with for why he can't, why he didn't. And I think we all, that was the part I'm like, dang, we really be doing that. Oh, wait a minute, what me? I don't know how to do this well. How you gonna choose me? I look like this. I ain't got no clothes right now. I can't get up there and talk. Well, honey, you better walk out because guess what? You free. Escape what place? The bed or Egypt? Or your bed or your job, girl. I'm lost. I'm like, huh? Yeah, I think we all have it's a little bit scary to know that such a great God has something for each and every one of us to do. I need to know what she can't escape: the bed, work, or Egypt. Because if you can't escape Egypt, me and Gary about to yank you out right now. You about to lose all your seeds, ma'am. Some things gonna start sprouting the way we yank you up out of there. I'm just kidding. Let me quit playing. But yeah, isn't it a wonderful thing to be chosen? Sorry, y'all. I got a text message. This person is really funny. Hmm. Uh, a distraction is a distraction, okay? No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, you sick? Okay, are y'all in the same city? Bus it. Do you have the ability to take Miss Watermelon where she need her chocolate? Is what I hope you mean, really chocolate, like candy dark chocolate or something with the you know. But there you go. But yeah, man, I just think that it's just a beautiful thing. First of all, to be loved by God regardless. I think that we all should know and must understand that He loves us no matter what. Even when your friends ain't got no time for you, don't love you, don't like you, faking. Even when people trying to destroy your life, even when people getting on your nerves, He's still right there loving on you. Many are called, few are chosen. Yes, I have to continue with my blind faith. Um, Number one, yes, you're absolutely right. Number two, I think that's I can't call it a really a oxymoron, but it's something like an oxymoron if you think about it. Blind faith, because faith is not based upon what we see, and when you're blind, you can't see. So that's kind of like, okay, faith is already the evidence of things hoped for, not what we see. We walk by faith, not by sight. And I know that that's just the way my brain be working sometimes when I think about how through life we say words and it sounds so right until one day you sit there and you think about it and you're like, I don't think faith is blind. I think faith is you just not operate. I mean, it could be perspective. I'm speaking on my own observation. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think that's like saying you can't see two times by faith. hmm We walk by faith, not by sight. Are we blind in faith, or are we just not usually we're not moving in our sight? It ain't about what we see. I ain't blind, but I'm still walking by faith. Y'all know I'll go all the way down somewhere else. Bust it down lane. No, but I agree with you though, Marissa. Don't think I'm. If you've been here enough, you know my brain will go off into some deeper thinking and be like, is that really a thing? To me, that seems a little. It does, and it's gonna. It does. But he was on Watermelon Row. But y'all know last night, he talked about how we existed before we were here. God created us. He knew who we were before were in our mother's womb. And the statement he said was, "Your body is a revelation of the meditation of God." Who were you in the mind of God? That right there makes me want to go even harder, because I know in the mind of God, I have got to be one hella fat woman. And I think I'm here and I'm her, but in the mind of God, it's way greater than I think, way greater than I know, and way greater than I understand. I think that now, in a time where we are not making excuses and we're beginning to execute the things that we're called to do, setting out to do, have been planning to do, set goals to do, achieve, accomplish. That's something you could take with into that movement. Who, ouch, was I in the mind of God? When he said, let there be light, there was light. You know what I mean? Who was it when he said, inside of me, let there be? Here is Gary, let there be. Oh, this little watermelon of mine, let there be. I love Marissa so. Let there be. Realist, the mysterious one. Let there be. Oh yeah, shameless plug, y'all. I need a ring light for my new job so I can be doing them videos so y'all can see me. So we are taking donations here at Meek Shear, your short hair specialist. Feel free to hit the cash app. Ding. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it made me think like, who am I? Because I know in God's mind, it's way more magnificent and it's way more important. It's way more explosive than I could wrap my very mind around. It's so much more of all those things that I want to do so much more to see it. I want to see who God made me to be. I don't want to walk into a church and somebody be like, God has called you to be a such and such. That's cool. But I want him to show me. I want to see it I want to see it through his lens. As I'm moving and operating into the things that he's called me to be, I want to see it just the way he see it. He ain't got to show me all that comes with it. I just want to see how big it is. You know what I mean? Faith is not knowing what the future holds, but knowing who holds the future. Absolutely, 100%. Whether it's blind, with your eyes closed, upside down, inside out, we are going and we got a place that has already been prepared for us. That's why it's so important. I'll say it all the time. People don't like to believe it or understand it, but we ain't here just because, you know. We got the whole song when he say, my life is not my own, to you I belong. I give myself away to you. It's just like how when you have children and they say you dedicate your children back to God. You give yourself back, you give your children back to God. I think it's the same thing we do when we decide to start moving by faith, start moving and operating the things that he's called us to do. When we start to seek out our purpose and intentionally tap into it and move into it. The word, are you talking about those two people? One name start with a W, one name start with a G. They're carrying on from Gary's live this morning. But you walked into me talking about existence and purpose and how I get to start both my jobs tomorrow and how we doing the Cash App call for the ring light and probably some products too. Yeah, that's what you walked in on my tip. You know how we do over here. It'd be a whole sidebar, but then they'll pop back in like they never left. I don't know if y'all know, I was telling y'all the other day when I was sitting in that parking lot, I'm like, man, I was just like lightweight overwhelmed because I feel like I had get your mind out the you need to come into the chat and out of the whatever that place you be in, the rapture. Yeah, I want to see how big it is, my destiny, my journey, who God created me to be. I want to see how he see it, is what I was saying. I said I want to see how big all that is. Now you know my word is big over here. Cut the crap. Cut the crap, cut the cap. Child, you don't know how close you is to making people fall out the bushes. What that nigga mean how big it is? No, I'm not after dark. I am walking in purpose, honey. I press play to talk because I had a word for you today. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, you know I don't be you the one after dark. Come on, man. What you think about this? I don't know why I have to read this to Marissa and Watermelon, but Marissa was the first one came to mind. Here's something he said last night. You can't kill what God commands to live. Your life is protected by the purpose you carry. Y'all ever been through something and you know how people be out here like, oh, I should have been dead and all that stuff. I'm like, do y'all really understand that if you really should have been dead, that you're really still alive because of your purpose? You will hear, I know you petty. You will hear older people tell you, we don't leave here until we complete our purpose. I'm not God. How true that is, I don't know. But I'll go with it. Just think how we let things come in and get us sidetracked and keep us from going a certain way. But we don't realize that because of our purpose. Can't touch this. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. Can't touch this. That's a beautiful thing. Is knowing this, as long as I'm walking in my purpose and I'm striving towards the mark, doing my best. For everything that I can't do, God will do. Long as I'm doing my part, for everything I can't do, He will do. As long as I'm moving towards my purpose, I'm good. It's when we get away from that. It's when we're not trying to figure it out. It's when we're not trying to do our best at whatever it is we're supposed to be doing. I don't care if your purpose right now is to be a better father. You need to be doing your best at that so that you are covered by that purpose while you're moving in that purpose. If your job is, I mean, if your purpose right now is to be a better steward over the position you have at work, even though you don't like that job very much, but you operating in purpose in this moment with that job you don't necessarily like, will open a door to that promotion you absolutely need. Not want, need. And it'll be twice as much as you thought it would have been. You know, when we're trying to find our own way out and be like, man, maybe if I put in for this position, it's coming up open. Had you just stayed in the position you were in, that you were called to in that moment, then when you got to where you were going to get elevated, it was double what you went and applied for on your own. We got to start looking at life like that. Everything with purpose and on purpose. Look at everything with purpose, on purpose. It just goes back to being intentional, you know. This might not be the best thing I want right now, but it's a thing that I have, so I'm going to use it. Just like I told y'all the shops that I looked at. I've only looked at 2 shops here. The other shop was really nice, you know, real nice, in a nice area. It's just the owner. And she's real apprehensive about hiring people because she's had, I guess, experiences. Yes, sir. Everything else is a distraction, like being petty. No, I'm just kidding. Um, and then this one, it's a little bit more hood, you know. And I don't mean like ghetto. I mean like my hood, my nigga. No, I'm just kidding. Um, I was all set to go to that other shop. I got my eyebrows done one day at Ulta, and I know it had to be God because that girl did my eyebrows so ugly. It didn't look like she waxed nothing, but hey, she said, my mom works at a shop. It's on this street. She was like, but they don't charge a lot of booth rent. You can check it out. And she gave me the number, and I end up calling. And I came over here. And I was met with warmth. You know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know, something about the way it felt. And there's one particular man in there, he's like an older guy. And we was talking for a minute. Like I only talked to the owner briefly. Well, he said he's a silent owner, but we were just talking and he was just saying he had started off doing hair and we had a lot in common as far as our careers, but he had been in a little longer than me. He's a lot older than me, I do believe. He might be about 6. Well, not a lot older, but he's older. You know, he's an elder to me. But I don't know, it's just something about the conversation far as the industry. And like one of the guys asked me how long I have been doing hair, and I told him over 30 years. He said, "You ain't ready to retire?" I said, "No, I just want to be able to. But I still love doing hair. It's still something for me to do." And the man went on to tell us, he's like, "I retired 3 times." He said, "But each time I had to come back because it's something I still had to do." And he told me, he was like, "You come on over here and work." He said, "You gonna get the money." He was like, "God don't, it's like kind of like God don't make mistakes." And it's like I felt like that. There's something I have to do in this space. Otherwise, I would have been down there on Virginia Beach. So here I am. We have our first meeting on Tuesday. I was telling y'all about that. And remember, I was telling y'all about the young lady when I asked her what she charged for like a shampoo and style. And she said she started 35. And I said, I almost, yeah, killed over, what do you want to call it? Listen, listen, $35. If I be 51 next week, right? And my mama paid $35 for my hair when I was 13, baby girl is breaking her back, her neck, her arms, and her legs for peanuts. The cost of living alone goes against $35 for a shampoo style. Being experienced over 30 years, continuing education, growth, your expertise goes against $35. And she was just like Moses. She had excuses as to why she had to charge $35. First one being, yeah, I'm going to go up, but I do a lot of older ladies. I do roller sets and like pinups. And I'm still looking at her like, huh? So the first excuse was older ladies. The second excuse, I do roller sets and pinups. As if you're not shampooing and styling their hair doing roller sets and, you know what I'm saying? Then the next thing was, and you got to be careful going up on your prices because the people will start leaving when you go up. And I'm still looking at her like, huh? And in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, if they leave, they wasn't your client. Because if you're charging $35, I'm almost 100% sure you're probably the only professional stylist in this whole state. Well, in my mind, you're the only professional stylist in this whole state. Shampoo and style for $35. That's the first thing. They didn't leave you because you went up. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. My phone rang. They didn't leave you because you went up on your price from $35. They've been having their eye on another lady that charges like $80. But they stayed with you because you were cheap. Because when they leave you, they ain't find nobody else that's $35. They went somewhere else and paid more. So it's just all these different excuses of. But then she said to shampoo the men's hair after they get their hair cut, she charged them $25. And I'm still looking at her like, that don't even make logical sense. If you're gonna charge a woman $35 to shampoo and curl her hair, why the heck are you charging a man $25 to shampoo and condition it? The owner. I can never give these people my YouTube channel. um, they're still in the $20 phase for haircuts, and I'm totally against that because I feel like you're breaking your back, your neck, your arms, and your legs. With over 20 plus years of experience with the cost of living, you have to work like a Hebrew slave to make ends meet if you ain't got nothing else going on. And if you just want to work that hard, you should be making double that. So I recap all that to say, I told you I got my first client book, right? And on this app, I don't have any clients, so all my clients are gonna be like they found me. If they found me through there, I think then yeah, they found me. So basically, it's like they gave me a client in a sense. So for each new client, their first visit, they take 30%, like I guess like a finder's fee, we'll say. Then after that, when they reoccur, they don't do that anymore. It's just on the new client's first visit that comes through them, not your own clients, but the ones that come by way of Style Seat. So what they said about her was she was willing to pay 20% more for this spot, this prime time, in a sense. I didn't even know that aspect was there. And I think that's probably how they get that 30% without eating all your money. But that very service that that young lady said she charges, I think she said 60. She said a shampoo cut and style is like 65, I think 60 or 65. That's what this lady booked with me for tomorrow. Her pay was $156. This woman said she can't go up because her client's gonna leave. I don't. I'm here brand new. I'm pulling 156. Well, without the 30%. But regardless of the fact, let's just act like I'm not. She still paid it. I'm getting $156 for something you're charging $60 for. My assignment is to help these people with their mindset. I know without a shadow of a doubt. It probably is one of the things they got to see me do it. I don't know if it's something they need to sharpen, but I'm here for it. Totally understand why I'm here. Because there's no way as an owner I'm going to say, it's competition around here. So if I go up on $20, I'm going to have to add something to the service. I'm looking like, so you doing the face and everything for $20? Do y'all know if I cut a man's hair right now and I do his haircut and beard, I'm going to charge him $50? I ain't saying he's supposed to charge that, but I'm talking about what I would charge. And guess what? I get $20 just for shaping up your beard. You give him the whole haircut. But him too, just like Moses. Well, you know, this shop, it's older, so you don't want to go up too much and then people leave. It's competition. I'm like, well, who you competing with at $20? You whole undercutting niggas. It just is. It's just the man. This message is really just tied this up for me. I understand. Thank you. The thought that you can sit here and do the exact same thing as another man or woman, and you would cut yourself so short because you don't believe in your own value. You don't believe in your own worth to say what you want. People will always give you less when you don't ask for more. As long as you accept less, you will receive less. And that's not just with money. If you don't demand more, you'll never get more. I know I'm not gonna give you more just because if you got something that's worth $200 and you tell me 50, I'm gonna give you 50 all day long. I'm not gonna be like, girl, this supposed to be $200 here. We got to get out of that impoverished mindset that keeps you bound in a space. That is, I mean, literally, that is just like being stuck in Egypt. Everybody else free out here charging $45, $50 for a haircut. I'm getting 156 and I'm right in the same space as you. Mindset is a thing that has to change. If we don't change our mindset, nothing can change. If we're not willing to see ourselves for the greatness that we are, we won't operate in it. You'll be stagnant. You'll be stuck. You'll be complaining about lack. You have not because you ask not. $35 for a shampoo and style irritates my gut. I don't care what kind of service you do. If you undercutting yourself because you don't think you can charge or you worried about people not wanting to pay, you're never going to get it. I mean, some people don't want to pay for a haircut. That don't mean I'm supposed to charge less because you think I charge too much. You understand? For every person that says, that's too much, I'll do my own, there's 3 or 4 that will pay it gladly and tip. That's all. Shit, I had 30 years of a broken back. Well, I don't cut men's hair anyway. I charge $60 for a cut for a woman. That's just to cut it. That's why the lady's hair is 156 because she got a style and a cut. If she would have threw a relaxer in with it, guess what? It'd been another $50. It's 2023. Just wait till you go up on your services. You're gonna be. I ain't against people cutting their own hair. Shit. I'm just here for the ones that want to spend the money. What up, young Riaz, my little cousin from over the water? How you doing, my friend? How you doing, my friend? Very good. I'm glad to hear that. One of these days, I'm gonna have some of you. I'm gonna be able to say it. I'm gonna remember. But yeah, man. So I guess in a nutshell, today it's just like let's start getting towards that place of moving towards our purpose, so we can move towards the mark of where we're supposed to be doing the things we're supposed to be doing, so that we get all those blessings that Gary was talking about this morning. You know, I do believe we get random blessings just sitting down sometime, but most of the time they come by way of where you're going, who you're interacting with. Comes through them doors. It might be somebody you helped 5 years ago with a kind word, show up one day and be like, boom. And watermelon, we're not giving it away. We're going to keep it, ma'am. Please don't give your blessings away. Bless them with something else. Don't bless them with something somebody else bless you with. Don't be paying it forward all the time. I ain't saying don't pay it forward. But don't look at it and be like, oh, they need this more than me, because they might not. You just assumed. Now, by all means, if you're led to do something like that, I'm just messing with you. You do whatever you want to do with your blessing, but don't forfeit your blessing because you think that, oh, I'm supposed to get it to somebody else that needs it more than me. You wouldn't have been blessed with it if you didn't need it. Ta-da! I need all my blessings right now. That's what I'm talking about. All of them. Thank you. I'm grateful. Give it up, Big Daddy. No, I'm just kidding. I need all my blessings and a few miracles, okay? All of them. It's lotion time. There was something else that he said last night that I really wanted to say before I left off. And I closed the dang on book I wrote it in. Where? I feel that there's always someone willing to pay for things others aren't. I charge 45 to 50 minutes. 45 for 40 minutes. I always do a 10-minute cool down. But a lot of people like that's too much. Then they don't want their life coach, because I know people that won't sit down with you for the $450 for an hour. They don't want their life. But you know what? That's how you honestly, not Gary, the word. That's how you gauge who's serious about the things they want for their life. If you're not willing to pay $45 for some information that's probably priceless, you ain't serious about the change. That's a small fee to do the work. Yeah, I mean, why is it if you didn't need me, why are you here? Because I guarantee you it's gonna be more. I'm looking at that like the same way I'm looking at that girl with her $35 shampoo style. I know that you have a method to your madness. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, like, they don't understand that's a steal. You know what I'm saying? What happens when you are in high demand and what they could have once got for 45 is now 250, 250 an hour. It's some people that'll charge you that for a consultation, right? To see if they want to take you on at 250 to 450 an hour. Because it's kind of like, don't waste my time. They have a list of questions they're gonna ask you, and for that $45, if you fail that quiz, I got your $45 for wasting my time, but I'm not gonna waste my time and go any further. Yeah, and he's still cheap. Yeah, we. I feel like if you really need a life coach, right? Like if I really need a life coach, I want the best. I don't want the cheapest necessarily. Now, if it can be affordable and a good service, that's cool. But I'm never gonna say. I feel like this. If I get to the point that I need a life coach, it's serious. It's worth way more than $45. My life is in shambles right now. This person is gonna help me straighten these things out. I want to do the work, and I don't care what I gotta pay. That's how I look at my life. There's no price that if you ain't worth $45, you really don't need a life coach. Honestly, you really don't. Everybody should be signing up for 3 hours with you at $45. Hell, stuff like that make me mad, man. And I bet that same person got an iPhone, probably rock Jordans. It be them. I think that's why I wanted to be in more of a hood type setting because I promise you, I ain't never missed a dollar working in the good old hood. It be them good doctors and nurses that be like, ooh, that's pricey. That's mind blowing. They said that's too much. Who coming to you? No. God dog, they don't want to pay $45 for 40 minutes. You should get a G symbol on your ceiling, and when it's time to go, throw them out your office like a G. You gotta go. I see you when I go up to $90. I promise you, anybody that tell if anybody that tell you that's too much, and then they circle back and come back to you, charge them double for that 40 minutes, and that'll prove right there if they really want your service. If they gotta circle back after going to search and can't find nobody lower, if they really serious about their life, charge them double for that 40 minutes. That's how you know you ain't gonna waste your time. The word is a life coach. You didn't miss anything. We were just talking about. I was just telling them the story about how. Well, I had told them about in church how he was talking about Moses, and when God told him he wanted to go and free his people, the excuses that he came up with of why he couldn't do it or shouldn't do it, or why, basically, why are you choosing me? I'm this, I'm that. I can't do this. And as I was telling them the story about how the young lady in here, was you here when I told that story, Gary? The young lady, well, I had said the girl charged a real low price, and I was just telling them that my client that booked tomorrow is paying 156 versus her charging $60 for the same service. That she said that if she goes up on, her clients are going to leave. And I said if they leave, they only left because they were coming to you because you was cheap. Now they're going to go somewhere else and pay money because I just don't believe another person is that cheap here. I really don't. I really don't. But as I was telling the story, Gary, I started to identify that same behavior that Moses had. They had every reason why they can't do something. Would have happened if they did. But nobody was willing to say, shit, I'm going to get what I'm worth. Oh, I would have to add more to the service if I did that. No, you don't. Just take the beard out of that $20 cut and add $15 on. At least make it make a little more sense. Jeez. Problem solved. Problem solved. But I'm gonna lead by example. So once they see my pockets fat and we all doing the same thing, yeah, they gonna get the memo. They probably gonna be jealous and probably treat me kind of funny after a while. Hopefully not, but that's always been my experience. But this time I pray my experience is that this group of women will look and say, hey, you possess something that I have, but could be sharper. Can you show me that? I would prefer that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not, when I work with people, I don't, if I can help you with something, I'll help you. I'm a natural teacher, a natural born teacher. So I didn't mean, I meant Gary, not you. Because when he came in, he said, what about a life coach? And I was just going back over what we discussed. I know you don't miss nothing, nosy, rosy guy. No, I was kidding. Oh, have you came up with that drink, the Bloody Larry? That's what I need you to do. Thank you. Get that Bloody Larry rolling. But yeah, it's like the same things. It's like, oh, I can't because this. If I do that, then it. But if this happened, this gonna happen. Like, remember I talking about the fear of success, y'all? That's exactly what this is. Like, are you scared to make money? Because we do the same thing. Dude around the corner do the same thing you do, and he's getting $25 more than you, more than likely. What is it about you that you feel like you can't? Y'all got the same license. I don't get it. You know what I mean? And you can't say, my shop is an older shop. So what? If you think it's the shop, then do something different. It ain't a bad shop. I wouldn't be here. But if you really think it's that your shop is not modern or something, I don't know what he meant by that. If you think that's the problem, then make some improvements. Don't short yourself in life because you're scared to make some improvements on some things. You don't go low, you improve and go high. What are you talking about, Gary? I'm talking about work and making a living. Can you elaborate on that? I'm a professional hairstylist. Reaching souls is not, there's no cost on that. A soul not being saved is expensive. It don't cost me anything to share my God with you in hopes that you help me understand what you're saying. I'm speaking just from a career standpoint. That's why I say I know that doing hair isn't my call. It's connected to the things I'm called to do. Those people will come through my chair, but it's also that gift that makes room for me. So I'm not dumbing down my prices with a gift that God gave me that is super valuable. Not when rent is running 1,800 and up. You know how hard I have to work. to live. I'll be homeless. It's 2023, buddy. So are you talking about the life coach thing? Hey, Uncle Earl. Happy Friday. Girl, you were taking a long time to respond. Because even at that rate, life coaching is a career as well. That's a job. That's not a. Yeah, that's a job. That's his. Mm. Yes, it should be expensive because your life is very valuable. It should not be $45 for 40 minutes, but that's where we at right now, and we gonna come on up sooner or later. Especially if you come to me, talking about you want me to help you. If I got the solution, run me my money. Oh, let me find this closing thing right here. What I said I was gonna do, cause I done came up here twice and then set up. I'm setting up today. Oh my God, where is it at? Where did I write it down? Okay, here we go. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I tried this Mountain Dew. It's not. I should have just went and got something else. But one of the last things that he said at church last night that really, I was sitting there like, What was the question when you said saving lives so shouldn't be expensive? What were you referring to? We were talking about careers and our living and our livelihood. Um, I just want you to elaborate on that. But like he said, God is not talking to us about the things we did well. He's talking to us about the things we didn't think we were good enough to do. That to me sounds like God is our biggest cheerleader, and he's wanting us to do those things that he deemed us good enough, but we discredit ourselves as not worthy, not good enough. So y'all can be doing all this stuff because it was easy and fun, but then you get all this stuff that you're supposed to be doing and you're not doing it because, well, I don't know if I should. I don't know if I can. But those are things he waiting on us to come up and do. It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, you did all that. That's great. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm proud. Yes, my son. Yes, my daughter. Nah. Y'all know I'm getting my God voice on. You did that. But I told you to do this. What you waiting on? Is he saving souls or is he compelling them to come and the Holy Spirit is saving souls? But when you go to technically he is a coach, and we're not saying the pastor is supposed to be charging for that. That's not what we're saying. But technically, when you go to your pastor, be like, Pastor, I just wanted to talk to you, and he give you that good old, it's a little bit of a coach. But we're not talking about in the ministerial sense. Now, if your therapist happens to be a pastor, he's a therapist. He has to charge you. That's like saying if you go to the car dealership and the man that sell you a car is a pastor, he shouldn't get no commission because he a pastor. That's his job. We can't confuse the two. Can't confuse the two. And it ain't even about something being expensive. It's about your skill and your time being respected. Our community is so bad with how much you gonna charge me? What would you charge me for? I always want something for nothing. Nah, man. Gotta keep it. I remember there was an argument, this dude. He was arguing with this. It was two ministers. They was kind of arguing. One was arguing that okay, I think both of them wrote a book. And he felt like because he was a minister and he used scriptural things in his book, that he wasn't supposed to charge for his book. And I'm like, God don't even work like that, man. Your gift makes room for you. If you're gifted enough to write a book, why would you write a book, publish it, pay to publish it, pay to print it, and then give it away? Okay. I think that Gary just kind of missed the entire topic, and it wasn't referring to soul saving. We were literally talking about our livelihood. What we do for a living, and understanding that we got that gift for a reason. You should be charging your worth. You shouldn't be dumbing yourself down because you don't think you can get it, or because you're scared that the person is going to leave or run away. Everything go up in life. And one thing I can say as a hairstylist, people tend to think that hairstylists and barbers are the only career that shouldn't go up on their prices. And I'm like, okay, if this is how we make our living, feed our kids, pay our bills, and you get a raise on your job, however often your person give it, why aren't we supposed to give? It's almost like because we give ourselves raises is invalidated. Everything goes up. If I keep my price at $35, which it was in the 90s, with the cost of living today, I am homeless, hungry, and I ain't got no clothes. One thing I know that God don't want is for us to be broke. And I'm not saying bust people's head. I'm saying you got to at least make it make sense. It has to go with the times. It has to go with the cost of living. That's why you work, to survive. You work so you can eat. And say if you don't work, you don't eat. If I don't charge, I don't eat. But I just think that we had a misunderstanding of what was being talked about. Because I know. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Let me see if I missed any messages. Besides, little sugar daddy talking about how I wasn't here. I wasn't even talking to him. Nickel. Gary, no one can save anyone, so that's a decision self has to make. Anyone could. Yes, I agree with that. That's what they always say. Our job is to be an example so that they'll want to come. It's the Holy Spirit's job to do what needs to be done to make that decision. Definitely a choice. It's a good choice, might I add, but IJS. But that could be a tomato thing too, you know. But I do agree there should be more of that, the more of the compelling, for those of us that do go to church. Um, in churches there should be more of that, the love that compels people to want to give their life, to be saved. You don't see it a lot. You don't hear it a lot. A lot of preachers don't even talk about, man, never mind, I ain't going into that. It's too late. But anywho, that's about my time because I need to go in here and act like I need to be doing something with my station, which is set up so I can be ready for this woman in the morning. As soon as she walks through the door, I want to pop out that cape and snap it open like and commence to cutting the shit out of her hair. Okay. I predict my first client will send me 10 within 3 weeks. And will have earned herself 2 free hairstyles. For every 5, I'm going to give her free for up to 10 people. I don't know. Maybe unsubscribe and subscribe back. I hear people say that, realist. And it's crazy. People always be like, I ain't get my notification. I get all my notifications. That's crazy. I've never had that. I get some notifications of people I didn't even know I follow. I had to unsubscribe. Anywho, I do appreciate everybody who came through today for my Meek Talk. I appreciate you so much for allowing me to share my heart and my mind. I appreciate everybody for the interaction, for your opinions, thoughts, and the things that made us say, how we come together and, had a little chop it up and encourage one another and all that stuff. I so appreciate each and every one of you. I really, really do. I appreciate anyone that may catch the replay. As always, you're more than welcome to hit the Cash App. You know that Meek has a need of a ring light, so donations are more than welcome today. But not the most important. The most important thing is to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, bring a friend. Uh, See, y'all got to put some names on it. See, that be happening. See, you drop in here and you say something, and people be thinking you talking to me, and then I be hearing it on the back end. I'm like, man, that's the atmosphere. We be playing it all the time, which we do. Put a name on it. I don't be knowing who you talking to. A convincing word from God will uproot the person from God. A convincing word from God. And he talked about that last night. You're absolutely 100% true. But the one thing it is that convincing word from God comes through that vessel. So it's hoping that that actual pastor is actually operating in the proper spirit so that it is actually God coming through them. I agree. But it's still God. It was God. Somebody asked the question, how did you, it was on Facebook. She said, how did you finally leave that person that you knew was no good for you? And my answer was simply, it was God. When it's over, it's over. Sometimes we don't be wanting to walk away. So he'll snatch you out. That's how he did me. Made it all better. Like scratching your knee. When you're a little kid and you scratch your knee and mama kiss your little boo-boo? Yeah. That's what he do. Snatch you out and kiss the boo-boo. Anyway, let me get to my business, y'all. So Be excited tomorrow. Well, I ain't gonna be on tomorrow because I might, after I do the ladies here, I might take some pictures, or I ain't got my light yet. I left my ring light that I have in storage in Charleston. So I'm trying to get one for here. I wasn't even thinking about it, so I want to get that. And yeah, I might come on after I get done with her here tomorrow, since I gotta work at 7 p.m. So yay, Meek has her first client in Virginia, 12/9/2023. Happy birthday to me, 4 days early. I'm excited because I know that one means many. And you also, you know that what they say, one plants, one waters, God brings the increase. We never know what part of that seed we may be the one that's planting, we may be the one that's watering. But at the end of the day, God is gonna get what he came for, if that person is willing. If that person is willing. Yeah. Yeah. So as always, I hope that something I said today resonated with someone here. Um, Maybe change your perspective on a thing, made you see things another way, not to dismiss the way you see it, but also to see it another way. Um, Hope it encouraged you, helped you. Even if it didn't help you, maybe it's something that you know a friend could use and you could share with them and we can help them. It's all about helping each other, uplifting each other. Because as Gary said, we cannot do this thing called life alone. As I said yesterday, it takes a village, and that does not just apply to our children. So let's take full advantage of our village. All are welcome who want to be great. All are welcome that know that they carry a solution. Let's come together and put our great minds together and start being solutions instead of part of the problem. That's the problem. Too many people are willing to be the problem or part of the problem. I'm trying to be a solution out here. Having said that, you guys have a great day. Enjoy your Friday. Don't drink too much tonight. Be safe. Put on your seatbelt. Lock your doors and don't talk to strangers. Bye bye now.